wanted to do a raw, unfiltered stream and video that details some of the things that I've gone through lately, some of the mindsets that I've been in, and some of the struggles that I've gone through over the last couple of years. The reason that you clicked on this video is probably because you've been in the same sort of place that I was, asking these questions, not wanting to wake up in the morning, not feeling like there's not a reason to wake up, not having a purpose, not having meaning, and things like that. For the last 2 years, I've struggled with depression, and actually, I am also bipolar. So that's been a huge struggle for me. The bipolar diagnosis came very recently, and it's affected my life. But as soon as I got the diagnosis, I made the decision that I wasn't going to let it define me as a person, that it was only going to be another struggle that I had to overcome. And because I approached it in that way, it has become that. It's been a tough battle for sure because of the depression. Because, as many of you who are depressed know, it's very tough to just have a reason and wake up and get out there and find meaning in every single day. The suicidal thoughts, I'm sure many of you struggle with. Those are something that, in my personal experience, the only reason were stopped were because of one thing, which was my dog, or not feeling just enough pain. But I know that some people feel more pain, and really do contemplate it. It's never been that serious for me to where I've thought about suicide, but it is one of those things that if you are, you need to reach out to somebody immediately, because I'm here to tell you that there is meaning to life, and there are things to live for, and there's things that you can do to retake control of your life, and you can start doing those today. And so I wanted to go through some of those, and hopefully you can comment in the video, in the comments below, about them. And I want to just start, and I want to be raw and unfiltered, because today, in today's day and age, there's too many videos out there that are all pretty, and they have big production values, and none of them are real, it feels like. So I wanted to talk to you specifically and really help you out and really bring meaning back into your life the best way that I know how, which is telling you the things that I've done over the past couple of years and the past couple of days even, to struggle well and to come out of it. The first and the foremost is going to be knowing that everyone has their problems, and life isn't always perfect. It never will be. This means that when you go out in your everyday life, when you go shopping, when you go to the grocery store, when you are out doing your job, when you're working, just in everyday situations, you can look around you and you can compare yourself to others. This is not a good mindset to be in. Don't do that. Other things like seeing people who are more fortunate or less fortunate than you. Everyone has their problems, and life isn't always perfect. It never will be. So just remembering that, and along those same lines, struggling well. This is a conversation I had with a coworker not too long ago. It was one of those unfortunate conversations where we were discussing another coworker, and it's one of those things where people tend to orchestrate their problems in a lot of ways, and they want people to know what they're going through, and they want everyone else to know that this is what's going on in my life, and this is why it's so bad for me. But one of the things that you can do is to suffer in silence, basically like being a person of good character. So just knowing that, everyone's out here struggling. The ones that are struggling well are the ones who are suffering in silence. Um, and that brings me to my next point. If you've ever studied Stoicism, or if you haven't heard of it, there's a lot of Stoic philosophers. One of my favorite Stoic quotes, I'm probably going to butcher this, I don't have it in front of me, but it's uh, when there's an obstacle in the way, it becomes the path forward. So for me, that was my diagnosis of bipolar. It was like, that is now my new obstacle, so that is the path forward. Seneca, who is a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." Um, and I find a lot of truth in this, because I can think of times even back to when I was young at age 23, uh, when you're young and full of hormones and on top of the world and nothing can get you down. It's easy to let your mind be uncaged, um, but it's also easy to cage your mind, and a lot of people cage themselves, and this is a lot of like what I did when I was going through like the this is what I did to myself. I caged my brain, and that's kind of how I got depressed and stayed depressed and stayed in this state of perpetual hell, basically. So what you want to do is you want to uncage the elephant. There's that old story that when a baby elephant enters the circus, or they capture the baby elephant for the circus, they keep it in these big chains that hold it down and keep it back, and they can't break the chain. And then as the elephant grows bigger and bigger, it's just conditioned to know that the chains are unbreakable. And so even though the elephant is big and strong enough to break the chain, it doesn't do it, because it's conditioned itself to know that the chain is unbreakable. So what I challenge you to do is get out of your comfort zone and uncage the elephant that is your mind, and don't let yourself be caged in. One of the things that I've been reading lately is Unfuck Yourself, which is, let me see here. Let's see. Get Out of Your Head and Into Your Life by Gary John Bishop. And one of the things that he says is like, you are wired to win. And like, no matter what you're doing, you're wiring yourself to win. So if you wire yourself to wake up and wake up and work out and make breakfast and go to work and have a great day, that's a win. You've wired yourself to do that. If you don't wake up, you skip your alarm 3 times, you have a bad day because it's going to be a bad day, and you've decided it's going to be a bad day, and oh my gosh, I got to do this job again, and you go home at night and you do the same old things, and you're not happy with the habit. Say it's watching TV or not going to the gym, and it's a habit that you've always wanted to change, but you just don't do it. That's still a win, because you've conditioned yourself that that's okay, and that's what you want to do. So wiring yourself, you are wired to win. It's just, what are wins for you? So retraining your thought process around day-to-day actions. The power of purpose. This is a good one because it's tough, right? Like, you're depressed, you feel like you don't have purpose, there's no purpose, why are we waking up, what is there, why is there meaning to life, I'm just going through the motions. That is a discussion of being willing or unwilling. So there's a lot of rah stuff out there, like I am willing to go out and make a lot of money, or I am willing to become a doctor, or I am willing to start my own internet business. And it all seems great and good until you start looking into it, and it's all this work, and you just don't have that kind of energy. The flip side of the coin is when that pain is so great that you need to get out of it. I am unwilling to continue feeling like I'm feeling right now. I am unwilling to let this keep controlling me. And that's what helped break me out of my perpetual negativity. Was I am unwilling to let this depression and this bipolar define me. I am unwilling to keep going down this road, because it's not only hell on earth for me, it's hell on earth for those around me, and it's not fair to those around me when I'm much better than that. I can hold myself to a much higher standard. I've looked at my past. Look at your past. Like, look at what you've done in the past. You're obviously capable of doing things that have gotten you great places before, so you're capable of doing those things again. And just be cognizant of, are you willing or are you unwilling? Are you unwilling to keep letting life get you down, or are you willing to take life by the horns and steer it in the direction that you want it to go in? This kind of leads into your internal versus external locus of control. It's very easy, and I think that we see this a lot in society today. Whether you watch any of the other big podcasts out there. I was just watching Dave Ramsey and Ben Shapiro, and one of the big things out there today is there's not a lot of accountability for one's own actions, that it's always someone else's fault. So one of the hardest things for me recently has been changing the shift from external locus of control to internal. Like, oh, it's the bipolar, or it's the fact that this bad thing happened to me when I was here. This isn't my fault. It's because, for whatever reason, and accepting that I'm the one who fucked up. I made the decisions that I made to not go out and not go get after it every single day, and it's completely my lack of effort that has gotten me where I'm at. And that's a huge confession, but that's what it is, and that's only been over the course of 2 years. That doesn't define the things that I've done in the past, and that certainly doesn't define what I'm capable of doing in the future. It's just, over the last 2 years, I came off my medication for depression, and that slowly chipped away and let my locus of control shift from being internal, and if it is to be, it is up to me, to every little things adding up, and then next thing you know, I'm looking at my life and it's out of control, and what do? Part of this is coming to the realization that medication might be okay. Medication may be the answer for you. I was very big on anti-pharma. Let me hold on. I was a big anti-big pharma kind of guy, especially in my younger days. I didn't believe in it. I kind of bought into all the conspiracy theory rah-rah. But the truth is, we live in a society, in a day and age, where we get water from the tap. The water is recycled, the air is recycled. It's not the most healthy environment for us to thrive in as hunter-gatherer based people. And so if there's a way to supplement yourself out of it and just know that you're doing it to retake control of your life, that's okay. Because let me tell you, what's happened for me as I should probably adjust this down so you can see me articulating more. What happened for me after I got back on medication and really just accepted that I am depressed and that there's not a lot that I can do about it, because even over the last 2 years, I've been working out, I've been taking care of my diet, I've been exercising, I've been walking my dog, I've been getting sunlight, and I was still depressed. I wasn't eating a standard American SAD diet. I was doing things like paleo, keto, like really healthy style diets. I was taking fish oil. I was doing all the things that you think would cure depression. But in some cases, that's just not all going to work. Some cases, it might be hereditary. You know, uh, for me personally, my birth mother took lithium, I believe, and who knows what kind of effects that's had on my endocrine system, my hormonal system, or whatever. So, there may literally be nothing that I can actually do about it, except accepting that I need medication to supplement the baseline so that I can retake control of my life and reshift that external locus of control back to an internal locus of control and really get back to who I was and refocus on who I wanted to become. So for you, I think, diet and exercise is a great place to start. Looking at things like drinking more water, daily exercise. There's a great study that shows, if one of your big goals is losing weight, that even just walking 20 minutes a day, every day, over the course of time, walking that 20 minutes a day is going to bring you down to your natural body weight. And watching what you can eat, become cognizant of what the standard American diet is, and then become cognizant of the food choices that you're making. Take that internal locus of control and shift it towards things like, eating a salad versus the hamburger, or taking time to prepare a filling meal of, grilled chicken and broccoli versus something easy to make. Portion sizing and things like that. Portion control is really big. I mean, at the end of the day, the laws of thermodynamics hold. And I've run the gamut. I've tried a lot of different diets, and I've gone through a lot of different lifestyle changes. Ultimately, the one that works for you is the best one. There is no fad diet that's going to work. There is no magic pill. It's ultimately going to come down to a lifestyle change, and I think that that can help cure a lot of depression as well. I would love to answer any questions you have about it. I have spent a lot of time studying diet and exercise and different regimens. In fact, I would love for y'all to check out my website. I'll link it in the video description down below. I've been working on that for years, and I would love to offer you coaching services as well, where you can actually have a one-on-one with me, and we can talk about what you're specifically going through. We can talk about counseling sessions. I just want to be someone for you to talk to. And then one of the last things, we could definitely talk about would be intermittent fasting. That has changed my life, as well as a diet and exercise regimen change. But just to recap, I really hope that this has been a helpful video for you. Just remember that everyone has their problems. Life isn't always perfect. It never will be. Always remember to struggle well. If you haven't looked into Stoicism, I highly recommend it. And then make sure to uncage the elephant that is your brain. You are capable of so many amazing things. And just know that the way that you talk to yourself is caging yourself. So always talk to yourself positively. Remember that you are wired to win. And that the power of purpose. So if your purpose is to skip those alarms every morning and stay in bed and feel depressed, that will be the power of your purpose. But if your purpose is so painful and you're unwilling to continue feeling like you are right now, then you're taking a step in the right direction. And then internal versus external locus of control. If it is to be, it is up to me. I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy, but I'm telling you that it's going to be worth it. So, bye y'all. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, check the link in the description for my website, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.